Hello everyone, my name is Srikar Susarla and welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss about the habit of reading books, and I'll be suggesting books which had impacted my life and why reading books will help us get to the point where we want to go. Before we suggest the books which impacted my life, if you have just begun reading and you want to make it as a habit, it would be difficult if you start with self-improvement books or non-fiction, as they are more content intensive and you will lose attention span, right? We have very less attention span these days. So I suggest you better start with fiction, and then when you have the habit of reading for like half an hour or 1 hour at a stretch, then you can move to non-fiction, where you will be able to read self-improvement books and books related to business or whatever knowledge based book. And then you can go to the core skills related books, like if you want to prepare for an interview or for Java or any book. So those are much more intensive than the normal self-improvement books, and self-improvement books are more intensive than the fiction books. So that's how I'll place the order, and let's get started with the first non-fiction book. The first book in the list is not just a book but a series, and it's a world famous one, which is Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. And this book is full of adventure, magic and friendship, and you will love the book from the beginning till the end. And because you might have seen the movies on Pogo or somewhere else earlier, you will see those characters in your mind doing all the stuff which is mentioned in the book. And if you have seen the movie and if you are reading the book, you will notice how few of the things are not cannot be shown on the big screen, right? And it will give you a burst of dopamine and it will keep you engaged. Like I remember the time it was like 3 a.m. in the morning when I was reading the book, and I couldn't resist keeping the book away and sleep. I couldn't get the sleep because of the all the twists which were present, which were mentioned in the book. So I hope you will love this book, and I till date I still consider it as one of the best reads I have done so far. The next book is P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, and this book is a very emotional and heartwarming story of a young widow whose husband passes very early in their life, and he writes a few letters for the wife so that she can read them, and by the end of all the letters she would be able to move on from her late husband. And this book shows about grief, love, and about the power of human connection. And this was very emotional book for me, and I was even crying at the end of the book when all the letters were over. And this book also helped me to know about the power of imagination a book can have on us. The next book is 21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari, and this is a thought-provoking book which examines on the pressing issues which we are facing in the real world today. And some of the topics include politics, environment, technology, war, terrorism. Almost everything has been covered in this book very beautifully, and the author provides the readers with a unique perspective and gives a intelligent commentary on all the topics about the rapidly changing things around the world today. The next book is Outliers, The Story of Success by Malcolm Gladwell, and this book discusses about the factors contributing to one's success, and the author mostly argues about that it is a combination of opportunity, talent and hard work that leads to extraordinary achievement. So this also discusses about the story of Steve Jobs or even Jeff Bezos, how they were able to factor this, how talent and opportunity and all the hard work they have done all together alone, even if one of them were missing, they could not have been in the position which they are. And there is also a factor of luck which played a big role in their lives. So we must not get disappointed when we see this. We need to continue working hard so that opportunities will come and we will improve our talent, and all these three together will bring in the luck factor as well. If you are interested in science, then this book might be very engaging, and it is Theory of Everything by Stephen Hawking. And Stephen Hawking was a highly regarded scientist, and he was considered more like an Einstein of the modern world. And this book discusses about the black hole, the formation of universe, and the Big Bang theory. Everything is included in that, and in a simple language you can imagine all the science stuff getting in your head. The schooling or the intermediate college, the science might be tough there, but in this book he has described everything. I wish science was taught us in this way in schools. When I was in my early 20s, I read this book called The Defining Decade: Why Your 20s Matter and How to Make Most of Them Now by Meg J. And this book gives advice on personal and professional life as well. And this book gives guidance. Basically, we all are having a lot of time in our 20 to 30, right? And if in this 10 years we are able to make the best out of it, it will reflect throughout the entire life which we are having ahead. The next book is in finance genre, and most of you would be expecting a Rich Dad Poor Dad, One Up on the Wall Street, or The Intelligent Investor by Warren Buffett. But these are all for the US audience, written by US authors, and they cater to basically US markets, and things are very different when it comes to India, right? There are scams happening. Maybe even in US the scams are happening. The SVB bank had collapsed and everything is happening. So the environment here in India is different. So Prasenjit Paul, the Indian author, has written this book very beautifully in a good manner, where even in a simple English, where everyone can understand on how the market works and how there are some trading tips. People hear about tips, right? How those scams work, and it was very beautiful analogy. And people can read this book to enter into the stock market on how things work, and they start investing in the individual stocks, slowly starting with the blue chips, and then researching and doing their own due diligence to invest in the new multi-bagger stocks. So that is how I started my stock market journey. When I was reading all those books by US authors, I couldn't get much information. When I tried to apply those formulas given by them, I couldn't find those stocks on those valuations. But when I read this book, I was able to understand all the fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and the research which needs to be done to find a good quality stock. So this book is a very good read for the beginner level stock market investor. Next book is the Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX and the Quest for a Fantastic Future by Ashley Vance. And then in this book, Ashley Vance discusses about the biography of Elon Musk, and gives us a complete picture of how Elon Musk came from South Africa to US and made the world his place, and he founded Tesla, SpaceX, even the Boring Company, the Neuralink, and he even acquired Solar City, and how he ventured into all this, and how was his master plan, how he broke things into fundamental bits and worked on the problems, how he solves problems. Founding one company and making it big is a thing, but founding multiple companies at $1 billion valuations and making them all unicorns is a completely different stuff. And Elon has proved himself over and over, though he is in controversies currently. Most of the time he is in controversies, right? But all of this is discussed in this book, and this is a very interesting read for me as well. Similar to this, there is the Google Inside Story and the Everything Store, which discuss about the growth of Google and Amazon as market monopolies in search engine and the retail sectors, right, e-commerce sector. And those are also very good read, and you would enjoy them if you are a tech enthusiast, and how things came out, and if you want to know how these companies came out as hot tech startups in the initial years. So these are some of the books which impacted my life, and by impact I don't mean they changed my life completely after the day I read a book. It means it changed my perspective every day. Like if I read a certain book, then it might come handy at some other point of time, and it is somewhere hardwired. The information from the book has been absorbed by the brain, and it comes out at certain point of the time when it is needed. You don't have to read the book entirely from word to word. You can skim through the topics if you find it uninteresting. And one other thing which I learned while reading books is like, you don't have to read the entire book. If you think the book is interesting, you can read the book. If it is not interesting, you can keep it away. We generally have a tendency to start a book and read it completely forcefully, even though we don't like the book. So if you feel like it, you can drop the book and pick up another book. And yeah, so that's it for this video, and I'll be coming up with more videos on reading books every quarter, so that we have enough books to read in those 3 months. So see you in the next video. Bye.